in time beyond the wall. We rise up and it's clear. In love we disappear, overcoming any situation, and together rushing off the
All right. Hello, everybody. Good to see everybody. New faces, some familiar faces.
Nice
My
to
name is
have you.
Roberta. Sorry?
I was saying nice to have you.
Yes. I thought you couldn't hear me. I said, oh, this is not starting off good. All right. It's great to see everybody. And my name is Roberta. I'm one of your hosts tonight, and the other one is Rano here. Hi, Rano. And we're going to be your hosts.
I'm from Rotterdam.
Yes. And I'm from Long Island, New York. And we just heard that song, actually. Two friends of ours actually wrote, produced, and played that song. It's called Love at the Door of Your Heart. Maybe one day we could get him on here to play it live. We hope, right? But it was beautiful. So that brings us to our topic tonight. All you need is love. We've heard the phrase, but what does it really mean? Why do people say that love is the only thing we truly take with us at the end of life? Why is there nothing stronger than love? And if that is true, what holds us back from expressing it or building deeper connections? So tonight, we're going to explore these questions together. And before we get started, I just wanted to give you a couple of reminders because I see we have some new faces here. You know, we try to create a supportive environment where we connect above all our differences. We stay on topic. No criticism. We don't discuss politics. We avoid it. Remember to mute your microphone when you're not speaking to minimize background noise. And everybody actually almost has their cameras on. If you don't have it on, it'd be great to see your face and join us. And please remember to keep your answers brief so everyone gets a chance to speak. I see we have a lot of people here tonight, so great to have you. And I'm going to hand you over to Rano.
Thanks, Roberta. All right, we'd like to start with an icebreaker question, something fun, something to help people loosen up, warm up, and be in the mood to start our discussion. And here's how it goes. It's a simple question. You start with your name, where you're joining us from, and then you answer this question. What is one simple thing that never fails to make you smile? What is one simple thing that never fails to make you smile? Don't forget to start with your name and where you're from. For example, I'm Rono. I'm from Rotterdam in the Netherlands. And I think my wife's jokes sometimes, even if they are silly, just on a tap from her is enough. Next.
And there's no order. Anybody could go who feels like they want to go next. We want to hear from everybody if we can.
I'm Susie. I'm from the rainforest on the Big Island. And the one thing that always makes me smile is if somebody smiles at me.
That does work, Susie. That's true, without a fail. I'm Alisa from Brooklyn, New York, and little kids playing on the beach. It brings so much joy that I am just starting to smile without any effort.
I'd like to go next. My name is Marvin Penelope. You'll probably not believe me, but there's a town in Alaska called Chicken with a population of 13. I'm one of those 13 people. And I think something that I love, it's probably I love my family. I love my family dearly. If you don't believe me, though, look up the town on Google. I've gotten kicked from a few meetings because they think I'm just messing around. Look it up on Google. It's called Chicken, Alaska.
I believe you.
Hi, it's Arlene here from New York. Something that never fails to make me smile are my nieces.
Hi, I'm Linda from upstate New York. And there's a lot of things that make me smile, but in particular, puppies and kittens.
I have to go next then. I'm Roberta from Long Island, New York. And I have to say my dog, especially when she rolls over and I, get that look, belly rubs.
I think your dog has a tumor. Ah! Ah!
Okay. That wouldn't make me smile, actually. The chicken joke does. Okay, who's next?
Unmute.
Okay.
Nancy, and I'm from Chicago, well, a suburb of Chicago, Illinois, in America. And what makes me smile is my cat. Even when I'm so frustrated with him, he still makes me smile because he's so cute.
Chris, you can just open your mic and speak. You don't have to raise your hand.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Judith. I don't know if you can hear me at all.
Yes, perfectly.
Okay, I'm from Houston, Texas. Well, I'm in Houston, Texas now. What makes me smile is really seeing little children, I guess between the ages of 2, 3 to like 4 or 5 years old, when they're kind of trying to negotiate a conflict with each other, or they're trying to, just try and do grown-up stuff, sort of thing. That always makes me smile.
Okay, I'm Annika. I'm from New Hampshire in the United States. And what makes me smile, because I love plants, is my flowering plants.
I think Sharon was trying to unmute. Are you able to? I think we lost Sharon. Oh, there you are. We can't hear you.
You have
Okay.
to.
Oh, there
there's
you go.
my phone.
You're
Okay,
good.
oh, sorry.
No, don't unmute. I mean, don't mute yourself. We got you now. You're good. We can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm on my Android and it gives me a lot of it's challenging. But I'm Sharon. I'm from Ohio. I'm originally from the Bronx. So I know all those boroughs in New York City. My sister's still in Queens. So I'm in a suburb of Cleveland right now, and what makes me smile is my cat. And eventually I'll fix this.
I guess I'll go next. My name is Chris Burns, and
Holy fuck, you're emo! Holy shit, Chris!
But anyway, I am from I am currently residing in Richmond, Texas, outside of Houston. I'm actually from Columbus, Ohio. What never fails to make me smile is like all the beautiful people, and when people are down to earth and happy. I like to see people happy and passionate about something.
Did everybody go, Rana?
Open Diner always makes me smile.
Thank you, Susie.
I think Tonya is trying to, he's unmuted.
Oh, okay, good.
Hi guys, I'm Tanya. I'm in San Francisco, originally from New York. But typically, unless there's an issue at hand, what typically makes me smile is a phone conversation with one of my adult sons.
Lisa, did you want to go?
I could just say that I'm from New Jersey, and that lady's hat made me smile.
I sing for a bunch of shows, but I'll say I dress up for you. How's that?
I love it.
All right. Did anybody not go? No? Okay. What do you think, Rana?
All right, I think we can start. It's a good attempt. We have to apologize for Zoom bombers. This is what happens when your Zoom number is publicly shared on social media. So, these things happened. I think Marvin was trying to speak. You didn't go yet? You can
You're
speak.
muted. Very poor connection. Maybe if you come in and go out and come back in, Marvin. Okay. Well, hopefully he could come back in.
You can also maybe try without your camera. If you have a bad connection, then if you stop the camera for a moment when you need to speak, the audio passes better.
Okay, hopefully you could sort that
Lisa,
out.
you were trying? No? Okay. All right. Hopefully Marvin's connection improves. Okay,
I'm so sorry. I didn't know you guys were talking to me. There's construction happening in the room over, so it's a little hard to hear. So I'm sorry.
Okay, that's okay.
So what?
Did you introduce yourself already? Did you answer the question?
Yeah, I did introduce myself. Sorry, I was talking, but someone muted me mid sentence. I'm sorry, but yeah, I did introduce myself. If that's what you were asking.
Okay. Now, one of the reasons why it can happen is that there's many of us in the room right now, so we will be over talking each other. So let's remember to mute ourselves when we're done, so that the background noise does not interrupt. And of course, remember to be short. We're going to watch a short clip introducing the rules of the round table that we use as a way to have our discussion, in a way that is open for everyone, and that is, makes this level playing field, makes it warm, makes it where everyone is welcome. You'll see it. It's very short, so pay attention.
Yeah, I fully agree.
The rules of the round table. Around the table, no one is more important or less important. Everyone is equal and very important. We don't reject opinions or negate, but only collaborate. The real solution won't come from knowledge or verbal perfection, but only from our connection. The rules of the round.
Okay. All right. So now we're going to watch a short clip. We're going to watch it. It's with Dr. Michael Lightman, a teacher of spiritual wisdom. He's going to be sharing why love is the most important thing in life. That's the name of the video. Love is the most important thing in life. It's based on a letter said to reflect Steve Jobs' last words. That's in the end, it's love that truly matters. So let's watch this together. And after, we're going to have a roundtable discussion. Okay.
Before he passed away, Steve Jobs said the following: I can't take the wealth that I've accumulated throughout life with me to the next world. The only thing that I'm taking with me are only those memories that are related to love, and that is the true wealth of any person. What do you think about these words? He's right, for sure. Well put. I'm with him. Throughout life we accumulate knowledge, insights, sad and joyful experiences. Why is it that the only thing that remains is love? There's nothing stronger than love. Love means that I love the other person. And as much as I can imagine it, depict it without having anything to do with myself. And so here's the question. How could it be that I love something regardless of myself? What does it bear? What does it give me? What am I getting from it? What does it project onto me? Why do I love? And therefore, love is truly the most elusive, the most exalted thing, and the source of life. Without love, there is no life. Without connection, there's no creation. Everything is only due to our connection upon the distance, and that's the inclination toward love. And therefore, he's right that if he has something to take from his entire life, it's only that which he has achieved through love.
Okay, so remember rules of the round table, and one other one is, of course, be as short and brief as possible. Here is the first question. He said it in the clip, and we want to have your opinion on it. Do you think there is anything stronger than love? Tell us briefly. Do you think there is anything stronger than love? Tell us briefly.
And
The
anybody
questions
could
are
go.
Yeah,
I
the
was going to say,
questions are posted in the chat, so you can remind yourself. You don't need to raise your hand. You just jump in when there's a silence. Victoria, go ahead.
Sadly, yes, hate, the other version. I don't hate anyone, but there's a lot of hate in this world. So yeah, the opposite spectrum.
Well, Deepak Chopra says that sex is the strongest energy in the universe, but without love, that's not true. So yeah, I think love's pretty tough, pretty strong.
But what there but sadly, there's not everybody has love, like it doesn't exist in everyone's life. So there must be something else. I mean, I said hate before. I mean, it's not me. I don't feel like that, but there are a lot of people like that. But forget about that. Like I said, there must be something other than love, if some people don't get love or receive love or give love.
Without love, ego. Ego is a very strong feeling.
Remember the question, do you think there is anything stronger than love? But yeah, keep going. And remember to be brief, please. Who's next?
I don't think there's anything stronger at all.
And I kind of think it's up to us. We can allow love to be the strongest thing in our life, but like Victoria said, hate and a lot of fear and ego, the different things mentioned, we can allow those to be stronger. I think it's up to us to allow love to be the strongest thing in our life. It's with our focus.
To bounce back on Susie's comment about it's all on the perspective and how you perceive it, how anyone perceives it. It's how you view it in your mind and stuff.
It
I
is.
think love is the. Sorry,
go ahead.
Lisa.
No, go Nancy, go. I'm happy to hear you. Go ahead, please.
I was just going to say that I still think love is the strongest too. However, I do think a second runner up is fear. I don't know. It could be stronger than love sometimes because if you're so afraid, you may be afraid to go out there and try to love because love makes you vulnerable. So if you've got a lot of fear, it could interfere. I used to be that way. So that's why I say that. Go ahead, Elisa. Alyssa.
No, Yeah, I just wanted to say that that is true. There are a lot of counterpoint with love. It's just like day and night. We would not even know or feel what does it mean love if we would not have something opposite of it. But what really wins? I think it's up to us, and I think that love prevails. I think that love is stronger than all opposites that we can, just list. The list might be endless.
I think for me personally, I believe that there's different types of love. And so I do think that for me, unconditional love is the strongest love. And I say that because even if one doesn't experience that, even if you just read about it, I still think it's the strongest thing there is that exists personally.
I agree with Judith, and I think that that's probably where the solution lies in this sort of headline that's everywhere right now, the crisis of lonely single men. I think the healthiest thing is for men, certainly to teach their boys and for men themselves to decouple their definition of love from romantic/sexual love and start forming connections with people in a non-man-woman way. And that will help men greatly in dealing with their frustrations about the difficulties of finding someone. And that will alleviate this crisis, which I'm dubious about. I think it's a crisis for men in getting access to sex. But let's say they are lonely. So much about patriarchy precludes men from valuing non-sexual relationships. And that leaves them isolated, especially when they don't have access to women. So.
Well, it's funny listening to everybody. I think there's nothing stronger than love because everything that, if anybody said here, let's say fear or hate, what's the opposite of all those things is love. So the opposite of everything that is against love is, you're saying, could be possibly stronger, but the opposite of it is love. So that's kind of interesting. It just made me think of it after hearing everybody.
I could
What
tell.
about? Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
is I was gonna say one thing that I believe what's stronger than love is hope, and hope is what you give yourself, and that's one of the important things in life. Love and hope, they go hand in hand.
What do you think about another question, Rana? Because this kind of leads us what everybody's saying. And I know different people had said different things here, but the next question is, what holds people back from expressing love or building deeper connections? I know it was mentioned a couple things here, but what is holding people back? If love is so strong, I'm going to put the question in the chat. What holds people back from expressing love or building deeper connections?
Trust. Trust. If you had a bad experience with someone and was, your borders were crossed and you were lied to, then it's very hard for you to trust anybody else again. If that makes
Vulnerability is very hard. Sorry.
Who is speaking? Michael?
Oh, it's Lisa.
Lisa.
Yeah, I think one thing we have to remember is the world that we're living in is not in a perfect state, but we are seeking that perfect state. So the clip when he was saying that love is the strongest force is he was projecting in a world in which people didn't have so many barriers and just were able to express themselves and able to, like you say, having trust in others and trust in themselves and express feelings toward other people. What happens is we are incredibly fearful of other people, and that creates all kinds of conflict. So this is the thing that is holding people back from expressing feeling. They're afraid to get hurt. They're afraid to become um, put in a embarrassing situation and so on and so forth. We're all afraid to lose something. That's why there is those opposite between love and hate, and love has trouble taking a upper hand. But imagine the future when we overcome those barriers. What is going to be?
It's the fear of the unknown. And that's one that ties up into a word, anxiety.
I think by having a bad experience in the past, if you've been hurt really bad by love, you are kind of hesitant to get into another relationship or even feel love for anybody.
Yeah, and what Berta said when she was saying that things opposite of love, what holds people back from expressing love is all of those things: fear, lack of trust, like Linda said, pain of a previous experience. Except on the planet now, I think everybody's had a lot of that, so that because we need to and somebody was talking about romantic love. I think you can use romantic love to learn about agape spiritual love, but it's different. You have to face all the things that come against you, and when you love, stuff that's not love comes up. So it's a process.
I think, in my opinion, what holds people back from expressing love is expectations and entitlement. And most people just take love out of context. Like love is transactional and stuff.
Yeah, I think that is right. And I want to go back to what Judith said, is unconditional love. What does it mean, unconditional? That means that I'm not thinking about myself. We have to learn how to approach each other, without expectations immediately, that I would like to fulfill myself with something. It is the opposite. How can I fulfill the others? And of course, it has to be mutual. It has to be this play. We have to open up to this, to this the strongest force that is available to us. We just have to want to acquire it.
And I know, like, the people that are here tonight and everything, everybody was talking in the beginning, introducing themselves and friendly smiles and everything like that. So nice to be around people, like you're saying about fear and trust and all this, being in a good environment where people are expressing themselves and being open and loving. It's I wouldn't be so afraid to express myself also if you're in a good environment like this, and other people that are wanting to build deeper connections. That's when you're able to express yourself in love because you're not afraid of that. So it has so much to do with the people you're around, you know.
I think it also has to do a lot with your emotional maturity and your experience.
Okay, as a way to
Speaking of emotional maturity, look at my favorite video. This is my grandfather.
Sorry about that. There's always those guys. At least I don't let anyone else in. All right, next question. It's good that it brings you a smile, but Next question. If you could be remembered for one loving action or a quality, what would it be? If you could be remembered for one loving action or quality, what would it be?
I would say not just love, but persistent love. Persist, persist, persist in love.
I think being a mother and raising children.
I would add to be able to inspire people to be hopeful. This world is so negative and gives just kind of a doomsday view of the future, and it doesn't have to be this way. Being able to inspire hope is something important.
Agreed, Rono. Life is too short for all that negativity.
I was going to say maybe to be remembered would be that I tried and most of the time maybe succeeded in thinking of others before myself and in some encouraging way.
I'd like to be remembered for encouraging compassion for others and also encouraging others to be compassionate for others, if that makes sense. So, just encouraging people to care about someone, even if they're different from them, so, not just feeling, even if someone is even expressing or doing something which, you know, one is not familiar with or even doesn't understand. It's for me, it would be about I'd love to still be able to show that compassion, to show that care, even if they're nothing like me or they don't have the same values as me, or I can't even connect with them in any way. But compassion can still be there, if that makes sense.
I would like to be remembered. I don't want to leave yet, but I'd like to be remembered which I appreciate. I think when we ask this question, I think it's really what would we like to strive for? Because I know I really appreciate in other people when they listen. And I would like to be a good listener. A lot of times I'm always ready to jump to the answer, but to be a good listener, that's something I try to work on, because I think when you listen to somebody, it shows you care and it's compassion, everything everybody's saying here. So a good listener would be something would be nice to be remembered for.
Yeah, that is something working on too, Robert. Not to jump ahead
Are you
immediately.
finished yet? I'm kidding.
I'm not good
I
at
had to make a joke.
Right, but it's great to be remembered for support and for being consistent in that, that encouraging, like you all, I think majority of you said, and be compassionate, like Judith, what she's saying is just so beautiful. That is what I think we're here for, just to be together, just to go through this life, not like a lonely creature, but together, supporting and sharing everything that will, bring us joy and hope, like you all were saying.
Friends, don't be afraid to jump in. Don't be shy. It's remember, something coming from your experience can be inspiration to someone else.
I'll state that I would like to be remembered as kind. And that includes caring, forgiving, accepting. So to me, sometimes it's hard to love everybody. but I can be kind to everybody.
This is a joke, but I want to be remembered by my hats.
And that you shall. Susie comes here often and she always has a different hat on. That's why I'm saying that. she's a longtime friend of the group.
So, Susie, I wanted to ask you, where do you keep them? Because you have so many. So you have a special room for hats?
They're all, can you see? There's clothes and then there's hats. They're part of the artwork in the hut here. There's I think there's like 25 hats and they're all hanging up like part of the art. And
Pretty
it's so
soon you're going
funny
to
because
start
I
a
live
hat
in the jungle.
museum.
Say what?
Pretty soon you're going to start a hat museum.
Yeah.
But today's hat is really awesome, Susie. Really great.
And Chris is rocking a hat there too. Right. Well, here's another question. We were talking about, loving and caring and all this. How can we learn to love? Because we were saying about it, we'd like to give and be remembered for being caring and all this. How can we learn to love or give without expecting anything in return? Now, this is a big question. And it's going to be, we're going to answer this together because it's going to take time. It's probably the question of the lifetime. How can we learn to love or give without expecting anything in return? Let's maybe chip on this question together.
I'm going to say that it is, well, that's how I would say it. Okay, forgive me for interjecting, and I'm not sure I'm supposed to do that, but we love because God first loved us. We don't love because that another person is nice or that other person is interesting or whatever. We love them not because of who they are, but who we are because of who God is. In other words, we have to love everybody in spite of who they are.
Unconditional love.
I think it's how you're brought up. That, nature versus nurture. I think it's nurture.
Yeah, actually, the question says, how can we learn to love or give without expecting anything in return? We have to learn. We have to learn. It's never late to learn that. But of course, it would be great if we will start from the early age, teaching our children and raising absolutely different relationship in the society, that love each other unconditionally, like Chris said, like you all were saying before, that is something, that is a skill, and this is the life-sustaining skill that we have to learn and teach the next generation.
And maybe if we're expecting something back, it's not pure love yet. Maybe that's what purifies us for me, I'm happier when I'm loving and I've learned that. So when I'm miserable, I look for somebody to love or I pick up the guitar and sing some love to somebody because I'm happier when I'm loving. And so I've learned that. So that's a good one. Thank you.
I could tell one thing about how to learn to love without expecting anything in return is to learn to love yourself and learn to be content with yourself. It's all, and most importantly, self-respect.
I think Chris is absolutely right. And I think possibly, although this isn't 1,000%, but perhaps the only area of unconditional love unconditional love is parent-child. I would lean towards all relationships with other human beings having to be reciprocal in regard, in respect, in support, in order for them to be sustaining. And maybe the only exception to that is parent to child.
I think, go ahead, Umberto.
No, I was just going to add that, friends have said it here before. Someone just wrote, Arlene just wrote, being less selfish. I think that if you're truly in your own self and you love yourself, you're able to be more of yourself, and that expands out to other people. They feel that it actually comes across as loving because you're not so much in fear of what they're going to think. When someone's authentic, and a lot of people here, all of you here tonight are authentic, you're speaking from your heart. I'm able to connect with you. I don't feel afraid to express myself. That's a form of love, The people that got acting crazy, they're lacking something also. Everybody's missing something, but I think when you express yourself and you're open to others, love is able to come through. Go ahead, Rano. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say that, one thing we have to remember is what love brings back to us when, you try to love someone. Imagine someone in which you are able to, for which, let me say, you are able to create an environment of safety and care and warmth. How do they feel? How do they feel about you? Even if that person is not thinking about, returning the favor or, being reciprocal or just someone that is selfish, it doesn't matter. But the idea is giving. If you think about love as giving, then the idea of giving is that it's like you were saying in the clip, it's like infinite wealth. It gives you back this notion that you are a part of the whole of creation, like going in the right direction. The world is not encouraging us to be loving because it's this very confrontational environment in which whatever resources we're fighting for it, and then there's no time to love anyone else, and you always want to take and receive. But the thing is that if you imagine that you already have what you need, then you can, take a chance and, give something to someone, be friendly towards someone else, be forgiving toward a partner that makes a mistake and so on and so forth. It's about understanding that, for the effort that we make in trying to be good toward others, and we receive a lot. And this is not proven yet because the world is not giving us that many opportunities to try that.
Yeah, I think what Chris just said about self-love, I really think we need to look at that maybe as a nation, because most of us had some form of Christian background and we think of self-love as selfish, and it's not. If you're not loving yourself, you're not being able to love others. And it's hard. It's like you find things that are icky in you, learning how to love that. So Teal Swan's book on how to love yourself is thick. All these things because we are so conditioned to think we're supposed to serve others, but if we're not loving ourselves, we're not a very good servant of others.
One thing's for sure when it comes to unconditional love is the golden rule or the cardinal rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. I mean, all of us have been our worst enemies within ourselves. And at the end of the day, we are all human.
That is very beautiful, Chris. And if you can do, to others what you would love to be done to yourself, but at least don't do to others that you hate, that is the beginning, at least.
And it says love others as you love yourself. So, that's a biggie. Loving yourself is a biggie.
I mean, Michael Jackson, he wrote this song called Man in the Mirror. I mean, just got to look at yourself if you want to change the world, got to start with yourself. If you want to love someone, you got to love yourself. Just pretty much look at yourself in the mirror.
Maybe also, sorry,
Go ahead, Nancy. Yeah, go ahead.
was just going to say that I like that what Chris brought up, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. What about doing unto yourself as you would have others do unto you and as you would do to others? Like sometimes I think about that. I think, oh, I did this or that to so and so. And then I think, well, would I want that for me or would I be upset about that? And if I would like somebody to tell me that, then what I told them was how I would treat myself.
What is also interesting about mirror that that then whatever you see there that is you don't like, that means that you see it within yourself, that means that you have to be corrected,
Yeah, I think that's a good point about the idea of accepting yourself, and so that it's going to help you open up to others. But also, we have to remember the nature of the human is egoistic. The problem is that our ego keeps growing. If we have like one, then we immediately need two. If we had two, then two is not enough. We want 10. And for 10, then we want a million, and it keeps going. That's, like you see in human history is, this accumulation of wealth is never ending. As what do you do with it? How far do you go with it? How long do you live to enjoy it? It's irrelevant. It's just the accumulation that that matters. So that's the danger, is that our ego is never ending, and it's just devouring everything. And if we're not careful, then we're going to not leave enough room for others. I think we're gonna go to our last question. It's a very big and heavy one. And that question is, oh, what does it mean? What does he mean when he says, referring to the clip, what does he mean when he says, without connection, there is no life? What does he mean when he says, without connection, there is no life?
I just want to say the last thing Steve Jobs said was, wow, wow, wow. So he definitely found the connection. And that is exactly what produces love, is the connection between two people, the communication. And I also want to say that we are all born with unconditional love. It's society that has really degraded that. And we should unprogram ourselves, like you said, definitely.
Yeah, I'm glad that before he passed on, Steve Jobs, that he um, came to some understandings within himself. As everyone probably knows, he was uh, adopted and abandoned by his parents, only to turn around and do that to one of his children. He did reconcile with that daughter, but the sort of generational curses were definitely, or that kind of generational curse was definitely evident in his story and how he treated his own child after being rejected by his family of origin. So it's nice to know that he, as Michael Jackson said before it was too late, took a look at the man in the mirror. So
I had a teacher that said, the kingdom of God is relationships. And it's just like if I'm lonely, there's a gecko here I can relate to, or there's all these leaves and trees and fruit. I mean, it's our relationship to ourselves and to other things that give us life. That I really believe that without connection, there's no life. That's why we love Open Diner, because we reach and we connect. We connect with each other. It gives us strength. I love this.
From what I could tell, the meaning without connection, there is no life. I mean, every single one of us has been, we are meant to be loved, and we're meant to have companionship. Here's one of the few sets of lines that I wrote in my poetry. We are meant to be loved. We like to play under the sun above in a bright, warm day. Companionship is what we desire. We always adore play dates. Love sets our soul on fire. We're meant to have playmates. The spirit is forever a child, forever playful, expressive, and mild. One person having fun isn't enough. A life alone is already rough.
Nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. That's a nice addition. Beautiful.
True, Chris, so beautiful. And I think we are connected, we are, we just don't feel it. We just know that in nature everything is connected, everything, and it all works together with, from insects to, trees and birds and everything. The same it goes for us, but we just have to to discover this net, because we're so enclosed in ourselves that we don't see it. We can touch it, but that is what we are rediscovering, I think, here, is how connected we are. And the only thing we need to do is just a little bit to open up, a little bit, just open up your heart, and you feel that we're all are, it just like we know each other already, for some time. It's really amazing.
They say that everything is connected, everything has a balance, and there's this term when everything is connected is collective consciousness.
I agree that we can learn a lot from nature. I think everything we know is from nature.
Think, and I'm sorry, I hope I don't mean to bring the whole tone to a more kind of sinister or cynical view, but when I think about life, I also think about death. And when I think about life, we are, for the most part, unless we're twins or triplets, we're born alone. And typically, if we die alone. And so, especially if any of you have ever experienced a life-threatening illness or anything, it makes you think about that quite often. Like when you get to that point of, okay, well, death may be imminent. You are going to be alone. However, you can still live and you can still have a life without connection, I believe. I just think the quality of your life is diminished when you don't have that connection. And I think it's, so when I think about, okay, well, what does that connection mean? What does that look like? What is that? And I think part of it is just going through life without having anyone to share your experiences with, or to support you, or to cheer you on, or to cry with you. I think that's why connection is important. But it's also, it makes you realize that, okay, well, the journey that we're on, for in some ways, is a lonely journey. I mean, I think definitely the connecting improves the quality of that journey, but I think it can be quite a lonely journey. And I'm sorry for sounding so kind of down.
Yeah, it's one good thing that if you find other people that are on the same path as you, let's say spiritually, or even other things that you enjoy in life, it makes life a lot more interesting and more worthwhile when you have a group of people following a good cause. Something that's like we do open dining every other week for the past 5 years, and we take on different topics and everything like that. When we work on the topics together, I find that it's so much easier to do things, not just this show, but other things in life, when you're with a group of people that have a goal together, a good goal. uh, it is the connection. Like you said at the end, we're the only creature that's ever been born, not the only one, but one of the only that when we, as soon as we're born, we're helpless as a baby. Other animals, like a horse, falls out of the mother and starts trotting next to the mom. So it shows that we are born for others. We come here alone. There's something here that we have to connect with others, finding our lost pieces, our souls, let's say. And then maybe we feel that we leave alone, but maybe we don't. I think it's a collective, what we do in our life. At the end, I don't think like you can look at all the rich people, like with all the yachts and the watches and the Rolexes and this. They could be with 1,000 people in a room, but they're still empty. So, like you're saying about connection, Judith, I so feel that at the end of life, that's what it hit me with Steve Jobs, what he said, that the last thing that matters is the connection, because he had it all. I mean, the guy was loaded. And it doesn't matter at the end. I don't think anybody's talking about, oh, my Rolex, where are you? Or how much work I did. It's the family, it's the friends, it's, that those thoughts. It's deep stuff we're talking. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, and I think it's healthy of us for me, this year was so hard that I made sure I had people I could call. Like I wake up, oh my God, I can't do today. So you call the love and support that you need. I think we need each other right now really strongly. And I think the more authentically we admit that and follow through, like, I got to call somebody, I'm not making it right now. And then they help. And I think we really need each other.
Yeah, I think also some of history showed us what the limit of wealth. Pharaohs would be buried in the pyramid full of treasures, but the treasure is still here. Pharaohs are not. So let's remember that our lives is still a journey. We don't know how it ends. This term of connection is something that we are studying to understand what it means and imagining the potential of it. But nature is giving us example, and we're just learning how to decipher them. There's one thing that we can take from animals. They are born. They don't have extras. You know, all they carry around is what they were born with: the skin, the fur, and that's it. The muscle, the bones, and that. They don't have clothes. They don't have backpacks. They don't have houses where they can build a nest. They build a nest to house their children, their offsprings, and that's it. And that's all they devote themselves to. And I think when humans learn, the benefit of this and not to be attached to the stuff, then we will have a new dimension of ourselves, and the idea of loneliness will be something of the past. We have to end, friends. That was very nice. I have a few words of closing. We say that all you need is love. This was the topic of our discussion today. I think we brushed with the exalted idea that everything we need is already provided by nature in some way. We just learning to appreciate this. But love is one thing that we have to work toward. Just we have to build it in a way. I hope tonight's hours brought you an inch closer to this positive attitude toward love and toward life in general, and that seed will grow and bring you some happiness. Speaking of which, the topic in 2 weeks will be the science of happiness. I hope you join us, and we can have an even better time then. All right, we'll see you then, right? Let's play a nice song again.
A few ways you could to keep in touch with us. You could join our meetup group. You can follow us on Facebook. We also post on Instagram and Pinterest. If you prefer, you could subscribe to our email list. We don't share your email with any third parties. Some of our older events are on YouTube if you want to watch the past 5 years. We have many topics. Invite your friends to join us also, and the links are in the chat. At least we just put them up. And hopefully we'll see you in 2 weeks in the science of happiness. We'll leave off with
you.
so thank you, everybody. It was great conversation. Really enjoyed it.
We're locked in between walls, and it's time that the curtain falls. With one smile and one tear, with one word, the whole world hears. Overcoming any situation, and together brushing off the dust, hand in hand and as one nation. And there's love at the door of our heart. We open up, and there's love at the door of our heart. We open up.